do some very mundane things, but it should be interesting with reports and other things going on. So welcome. I hope we keep it interesting for you. And we'll start by calling the meeting to order at 6:04-ish. First thing we're going to do is we're going to swear in Lariah Lind. She is a student representative. So Lariah, you have a microphone, so you can pick that up. And would you stand up, dear? I will bring you your, oh, sorry. That's my fault. Thank you. We're gonna do the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand up. I pledge allegiance. Very good. Lariah, do you want to come around and I'll give you your oath? And if you would like to read it as your oath.
I, Lariah Lind, will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States, the state of Oregon, and the laws thereof, and the policies of the North Wasco County School District, and will discharge the duties of student representative on the North Wasco School District Board to the best of my ability.
Awesome. When did you sign it? What? Yay! What school are you from?
I'm from Innovations Academy.
Innovations. That's awesome. You want to find a spot on the table and we'll get you signed up. The 23rd. Okay, thank you. Now you get to return to your spot because you're going to have official duties in reading the mission, vision, and values of our school district.
Educating each student to the highest standards while motivating them to reach their fullest potential and graduating them to be college, career, and life ready. Our schools are a place where children belong. Each student is known by name, strength, and need, and provided the education and opportunities to achieve success. Striving for equity, inclusion, and belonging, celebrating their diversity, engaging in the community, supporting the whole child, promoting and achieving academic excellence.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the board. Okay, the next item is to review and revise the agenda. And so that's a request to board members. Do you have any revisions?
Could we add to new business an item to discuss the OSAA classifications?
I think we entertain. Would you like to make a motion to do that?
I would make a motion to add the OSAA reclassification agenda item to new business, please.
Dave Jones with a second. All in favor say. Any opposed? Thank you. We'll add that. Let's put that in new business. Maybe turn the report. Let's put it right after the CFO's report. Is that okay? The OSAA report. Thank you. We will likely asking Dr. Bernal for that. That's okay. So just let you know. And then I would also like to entertain a motion to revise the agenda, specifically item number 14, school board subcommittee reports. And talked about this earlier, that this is kind of a non-item. So often these committees aren't meeting or doing anything. And I would like to replace that in our agenda with a board member report, where board members can explain what they've been doing in the last month. If they want to report their work on a subcommittee, this is the place to do it. And if they don't have a report, can I have a motion to replace the school board subcommittee reports item on the agenda with a school board member reports? Motion. You have a second? Second. All in favor of doing that?
Just a quick clarification. So obviously these are standing committees at which we have a seat at the table. So I mean, the intent is if I'm understanding correctly, you're revising the naming of item 14, but the sub-bullet points would remain. Is that what the intent is?
I find, Director Apprecio, that so often there are no reports. They're seasonal, or they could be contained within a board member's report. If a board member wants to talk about more than just what they did, more than just that subcommittee, that would be fine. Yeah, you can tell me what any history of the standing committee reports is. Just doesn't seem entirely effective all the time.
Well, I mean, in fairness, I mean, the school year, I mean, it's still early in where we're at. I mean, that's also a function of why a lot of these have not had a lot of activity as a result of them.
They're seasonal.
So, I mean, the summertime obviously is dead, and as it ramps up, that's when you start seeing them. I personally would not like to lose sight of that, given that these are instances and kind of broader committees in which we have a seat at the table, and I don't want to lose sight of that, nor minimize the importance of D21 being at the table for these various organizations and other community members. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I don't want the perception to be out in the community that now it's just a substandard report from our various board members, but the importance of us belonging and also being involved in the various communities that are outlined here.
Would you entertain a revision of the original motion to say that the title of item 14 be school board subcommittee reports and board member reports?
The naming's fine. I think another way to achieve kind of, and I understand what you're saying in terms of any other things outside of what's already outlined within the agenda. I mean, I think another way to achieve that would be to simply add an additional bullet point and have it kind of open-ended for board member reports outside of anything already listed or accounted for within the agenda.
To number 14. So I am willing to revise my original motion to state that that general school board member reports be added to number 14, school board subcommittee reports, to add additional information. Can I get a second on that? Hopefully from Jose. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Oh, we're good. So we're going to bullet that with board member reports. Okay. So moving on from the item 7 to item 6 to number 7, we do have public comment from Irie Lucy. Irie, you want to identify yourself? Come see us.
She just signed in.
Oh. Oh, sweet. Okay. So we'll hear from her. Thank you. Okay. We will look forward to hearing from Irie in that part of the agenda. Okay. So no public comment on agenda items. Moving to number 8, the consent agenda, which are items that typically don't require a lot of discussion. They are going to include the September 18th board retreat minutes, the September 25th board meeting minutes, the October personnel report in the packet and online, the second reading and adoption of policies. These policies were had to be changed because they needed to revert back to original, is what my understanding was, changed for some reason. So can I, first of all, I would entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda or motions to withdraw items and consider them individually. Can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented? Hello?
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Can I get a second? Oh, Dave Jones seconded it. All in favor of accepting the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. In our packet is a board calendar review. This month, we are going to look at Division 22 standards. The superintendent has goals. These are all things that are on the, look at the OSBA, didn't all things that are basically the board member reports that we can talk about if we wish. November, we're looking forward to work session, another work session, the second of the ones we've done this year. Starting to look at the budget, it looks like, and facilities, and working on policies. Yay. We are going to go to an action item, 9A, which is adopt revised 2025-2026 school board meeting calendar. And that meeting calendar now includes calendarized work sessions. There were already 3 or 4 in the calendar, and we've officially added 3, I think. So we need to approve that. Can I get a motion to approve the revised school board meeting calendar? Motion. I have a motion and a motion from Director Kelly and a second from Director Jones. All in favor say. Any opposed? Number 10 is a staff recognition. Ryan Allinger, are you here? Can you come up, sir?
How's everybody?
I think
I think I got it. There we go. Well, good evening, Superintendent Dr. Nall, board. We have a pretty special gentleman that is going to retire after 20 years of service in the facilities department. As you can see, the staff back here came. Mr. Harrington has been a mentor for 20 years to all of the staff. His excellence in providing a safe schools for 20 years. We all feel that he needs to be given the send-off of all send-offs here. He is extremely important to all of us. I will speak for the whole facilities team, and all we like to do is say to Mr. Harrington is thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for this team. Thank you for everything you've done for every student that's come through in 20 years. And to every staff member that you've helped facilitate their buildings. So with that, I just say thank you and hope that his retirement is just as well as what he's done at this school district.
is Mr. Harrington here?
He's not.
Oh, okay. Just curious. Okay. Well, maybe he's enjoying his retirement.
No, he retires next Thursday is his last day.
Oh,
So
okay. I don't know that we can make any resolutions of appreciation. I'm not sure that's possible, but can we make a resolution of appreciation? I have no idea. Why not? So okay, David Pauline has recommended that we dedicate this meeting to in recognition of his service. And if you will please share with him a deep appreciation from the community and from everybody that passed through the schools and knew Mr. Harrington and who all the people that he served. Thank you very much. That's a long career.
I will definitely do that. Thank you again.
Thank you for bringing his name up in front. Okay, student representatives to the board. Laraya is here and Rafael has joined us. So you have one microphone between you. Would you like to give a report? Please use your microphone. Yeah, it's fun. It's down.
Can you hear me? As October comes to a close, the first academic trimester at the Dells High School is in full swing. The phone ban has made a noticeable difference inside the classroom. Students are more focused, interactive, and staying on top of their work. With this week's unusual schedule, students are taking the opportunity to catch up on homeworks following the midterms. For seniors, college application season is here, and many are taking opportunities such as the free FAFSA workshop and the Aspire program, which continues to provide guidance to the college and financial aid process. On Thursdays, the advisory period has been a nice addition to the schedule, as it allows for all grades to be caught up on school news, events, and much more. School clubs are also reaching new membership records. Students are able to join a myriad of clubs such as the Juntos Club, STEM Club, HOSA, Key Club, Robotics, Racquetball, and many more. Some events are being held in the next week or so, include the HOSA Community Costume Run at Cirrhosis Park and the Juntos Day of the Dead event in the public library, both on November 1st. The fall sports teams at the high school are doing extremely well. The girls soccer team is currently undefeated and is having their senior night next Tuesday. The boys soccer team is also undefeated with one tie. Their senior night is going on right now. The volleyball team has also done incredibly well in league. Whether it's seniors working on college applications or freshmen still adapting to the high school, October has been a busy and spiritful month at the Dells High School, and we hope it continues all year long.
Thank you, sir. So glad you're here. Thank you. Okay, building student representative reports, which will include Miss Irene. Do we have a representative, Saoirse and Christopher from Colonel Wright? Okay. So the guys at Chenoweth, Eric Aparicio and Talon Richmond. I think one of these belongs to you. Go ahead.
Dear school board members. Hi, my name is Eric Aparicio. Soy Eric y estoy en quinto grado. Hi, my name is Talon Richmond and I am in 5th grade at Chenoweth Elementary. There have been a few frustrating things happening at recess. The whole 5th grade has lost soccer, but ASB is working on some serious rules and everyone's signing a contract so we can play again. Han ocurrido algunas cosas frustrantes durante el recreo. Todo el quinto grado perdió el fútbol, pero ASB está trabajando en unas reglas compartidas y todos firmamos un contrato para que podamos jugar de nuevo. There have been a few incidents that have happened, but they have been resolved. Conflict is not uncommon at schools, but we know how to resolve it. Han ocurrido algunos incidentes, pero se han resuelto. Los conflictos son comunes en la escuela, pero sabemos cómo resolverlos. We are learning about salmon and plants. We had a field trip to the White Salmon Fish Hatchery today to learn about them. Estamos aprendiendo sobre el salmón y las plantas. Hoy fuimos de excursión al criadero de salmón blanco para aprender sobre ellos. Group called Secrets has been coming every Friday and teaching us about ecosystems. Un grupo que se llama Secretos ha estado viniendo y enseñándonos sobre ecosistemas. Fuimos a un paseo al hatchery de peces hoy. We keep flattening gaga balls because people keep kicking them and hitting them too hard. We think we should have a hand pump outside at recess. Seguimos quitando aire a los gaga balls por patear muy duro y golpearlos muy duro. Pensamos que necesitamos una bomba manual afuera al recreo. Do you know what gaga ball is?
Vaguely, I do. It is a game, and you play it in a controlled corral, and it's circular.
Decimos juntos somos mejores. Bye. Adiós.
Adios. Hey, thank you, gentlemen. That was a great report. I'll just leave it on there. Great report in both languages. Very clever, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Okay, so then that was the CES at Colonel Wright. Is Colonel Wright ready or Dry Hollow? Sir?
Good afternoon. I'm Saoirse Posey, and this is Christopher Castro, and we are the board student representative for Colonel Wright Elementary School. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Christopher Castro y esta es mi amiga Saoirse Posey y somos los representantes estudiantes de Colonel Wright. We had back to school night. There were small games and food. It was a big hit. Students had fun. Teachers got to meet the parents and have fun. The Portland Opera was on the 30th. It was fun and the students had a good time. In September, we started Spirit Points. Every Friday, 2 students go to all classes, and the students wearing black, red, or gray give a point, and the class with the most points win and get a prize. Noche de regreso a la escuela fue el 23 de septiembre. The junior coaches play fun games with K to second students. Grades 3 through 5 help every Wednesday for junior coaches. Picture Day was on October 8th. The students looked nice and had a good day. The first grade went to pick pumpkins at the pumpkin patch on the 9th of October. Entrenadores estudiantiles comenzaron y grados de tercero a quinto van a jugar con grados de kinder a segundo y les van a enseñar a jugar justo cada miércoles. El día de la foto era el 8 de octubre. El primer grado fue al huerto de calabaza el 9 de octubre. The first lockdown drill was on October 6th. On October 22nd was the Harvest Fest. The students made booths and fun games. There was over 20 booths. The Kinder's Pumpkin Patch was on the 23rd. Primer simulacro de emergencia era el 16 de octubre. El Festival de la Cosecha era el 22 de octubre. Había más de 20 juegos. El Kinder fue al huerto de calabaza el 23 de octubre. The earthquake drill will be on the 30th of October. We are having an artist in residence teach watercolors to all classes next week and 1st of November. The fire department came to present on lithium battery dangers to 2nd, 4th, 5th grade classes this month. Simulacro de terremoto es el 30 de octubre. Artista de residencia va a enseñar colores de agua al final de octubre a la primera semana de noviembre. El departamento de bomberos vino para presentar a los grados 4, 2 y 5 sobre el peligro de la batería de litio. Un pianista va a venir y tocar para la escuela el 30 de octubre. Thank you for coming and listening. Gracias por su tiempo y buenas noches.
Thank you, sir. Very nice. Dry Hollow, Irie and Gabriel.
Lahawya, Nika Nim Irie Lucy, Nika Selects Children. Hello, board members. My name is Irie Lucy. I am from the Selects tribe.
My name is Gabe.
At Dry Hollow, the current word of the month is responsibility. Each day, we learn about responsibility on the news. At the recent Learning Resource Center Family Night, they painted pumpkins and played games. Thank you to Miss Tashi, Mr. Josh, and Miss Allie for putting together this amazing event. Mr. Fierce has started drama club again and hopes to put on a play at the end of the year. We can't wait to see what he can do. And finally, Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Kaiser are getting ready to create future leaders with the Dry Hollow Student Council starting the first week of November.
The PTA fundraiser reached over $30,000, and the top 3 sellers get to be principal for a day. The top 3 sellers are Elliot Herman Coles, Xaden Freemus, and Noah Grizik. The exhibit is about ocean fossils in November 13th, and we are going to be watching a short film about the ocean. It would be nice to give Mrs. Court and Mrs. Rams thank you for being our organ battle over both coaches so we can give everyone a chance to do it.
Here's our joke for you tonight. Why did the Dry Hollow student take their test on the ceiling?
Because they wanted to get higher grades.
Thank you. How about representatives from the Dalles Middle School?
Hello, I'm Aubrey White, and I'm in 8th grade, and I'm an ASB spirit meeting. I'd like to start off talking about parent-teacher conferences. They were held last week, and parents had the opportunity to pick up progress reports and meet with teachers. We had a really successful turnout for both nights. And for fall sports, seasons have almost wrapped up. Our football and volleyball teams completed their seasons last week. We were excited to see a large turnout for volleyball this year and look forward to growth in both sports. Tomorrow, our cross-country runners are traveling to Pendleton to compete at the Eastern Oregon Middle School Championships. Our cheer program also wraps up in a few weeks. They will be cheering until the first week of our boys basketball season. Our boys basketball season just started with practices starting on Monday. They will begin games on the first week in November. Our homework club has been a successful addition to our school success. Students have the opportunity to attend homework club twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Snacks and limited transportation is available for those attending. It allows students a chance to get caught up or receive extra help in their classes. And we also have 2 other clubs in full swing. Our robotics club and garden club have also begun. We have returning students and several new faces that are enjoying these after-school opportunities. In other news, tomorrow we are having our first PEP assembly of the year. It is an afternoon assembly. We have class competitions planned and will be recognizing our fall sports. We also have a performance planned by our cheer squad. Our PEP assembly is kicking off the first Spirit Week of the year. Next week is the Spirit Week, and Monday will be Comfy Day. Tuesday is a Blackout Day. Wednesday is Twin Day. And Thursday is Sports and Jersey Day. And obviously Friday's Halloween, so Costume Day. In order to get students involved, we are combining our assembly points earned. Along with the amount of students who participate in the dress-up days, the grade level with the most points earned will receive cookies as a reward. And lastly, our first dance of the school year will be held Friday, November 7th. Our famous masquerade ball. And in order to attend the event, students must at least have an 80% attendance rate. Thank you for listening and to what we are doing at TDMS, and have a good night.
Is Kit Dunbar here from Innovations? Oh, it's Lariah.
Sadly, Kit got sick, so I was willing to fill in. My name is Lariah, as you all know, and we're excited to share what's been happening as we've kicked off this new school year. First, our Winter Bazaar is scheduled for December 6th, 2025. The Winter Bazaar is open to the entire community and gives local vendors the opportunity to sell their homemade products. It's always a festive event that brings people together while supporting a great cause. All proceeds go toward programs and activities at Innovations Academy. We're excited to welcome families, friends, and community members to shop, enjoy food, and celebrate the holiday season with us. Next, our Homecoming Spirit Week was a big success. Students showed amazing participation throughout the week with themed dress-up days, including Cozy versus Classy Day, Minion Day, Wear Orange for Unity Day, and Dress as Your Birth Year Day. Along with the dress-up themes, we hosted friendly homecoming competitions each day during advisory events, including cornhole, red light, green light, three-legged racing, and a relay race that featured apple bobbing, basketball, and hula hooping. These activities created a fun and energetic atmosphere while encouraging teamwork and participation from all grade levels. Parent-teacher conferences were also held this month and focused on being student-centered. Students were encouraged to take part in discussions about their programs, their progress, goals, and areas for growth. This approach helped strengthen communication among students, families, and teachers. Making sure everyone is on the same page about academic success, we also celebrated Unity Day this month. Students and staff wore orange to promote kindness, inclusion, and acceptance. During advisory, students took part in activities and conversations about standing up for others and building a positive school culture. It was a powerful reminder of the importance of unity and respect on our campus. Finally, our senior class has started hosting monthly senior breakfasts. These are organized by the senior advisor and provide an opportunity for seniors to connect and share updates. and build a community as they prepare for graduation. It's a simple but meaningful way to bring the senior class together. In summary, Innovations Academy has had a busy and exciting season filled with school spirit, student involvement, and community connection. We're looking forward to continuing that energy as we head into the winter months. Thank you for your time and continued support.
Thank you, Lariah. Thanks for doing right there. Welcome. Is Amber Foley here?
Hello? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Amber Foley, and I'm the school board rep for the Dallas High School. Right now, we're in the middle of homecoming week, and we've had an amazing week full of so many activities. We've had Tough Puff, Powder Puff, the annual color war, and the annual music video assembly. So far, we've sold 175 homecoming tickets, not including ASB sticker bundles and tickets that will be bought at the door. Tomorrow, we have a short schedule to fit in our mega lunch, Tough Puff finale, and our pep assembly to prepare for the homecoming football game against the Grand. Also, our dance is at the Dallas Armory this year, not the middle school. ASB is working hard to make sure games and activities are planned every single day for our homecoming court pairs. So far, we have 4 final pairs left who will be honored at our game tomorrow and crowned king. Senior night for the football pairs will also be happening tomorrow at 6. The boys took a hard loss last week against Pendleton, but they are still looking to get the league championship. Our boys soccer, girls soccer, and volleyball team are all league champions. As of right now, we are looking forward to the playoffs and have very high hopes. Cross country has also had an amazing season, and we are looking forward to districts. The JV girls took first place at the SDK meet, and the JV boys finished third. Also, freshman cheerleader Macy Foote recently made the all-state team, which is very exciting. Congrats, Macy. HOSA is having a community fundraiser November 1st, which will be a community costume run. We are looking to spread the word and help raise money for HOSA's competition later this school year. Ending the month, we are looking forward to our haunted house, winter sports, and preparing for the winter formal dance, as well as other community activities during the next few months. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Okay, moving on to the teachers. D21 Education Association Representative Kate Galt.
Good evening. I want to begin tonight by highlighting some of the many positives happening across our district. Teachers, office staff, food service workers, bus drivers, classmates, counselors, principals, and everyone behind the scenes, and everyone working directly with students continue to show up every day with creativity, flexibility, and dedication. They are finding ways to fill gaps when there are no substitutes and ensuring that students are cared for and learning continues. Their commitment deserves recognition. At the same time, as I listen to members across the district, it is becoming increasingly difficult to find those bright moments amid a growing sense of overwhelm. A large part of my role is to communicate with administration and listen to staff so that I can help bridge understanding. Having worked in several customer service roles before becoming a teacher, I have learned that really listening to the challenges people share is the first step toward finding meaningful solutions. Education in many ways is the ultimate customer service position. Everyone cares deeply and has ideas, but finding common ground requires honest, sometimes uncomfortable conversations and willingness to look for solutions in unexpected places. Right now, many staff members feel like they are barely keeping their heads above water. Elementary teachers are balancing multiple new initiatives. Staff everywhere are covering classes during prep periods, and in some cases, doubling up classes due to ongoing substitute shortages. Staffing shortages in student-facing roles have compounded the strain. Principals, too, are feeling the pressure as they are increasingly pulled into meetings, leaving buildings without administrative support at times when student needs and behaviors are rising. We recognize that the district has important initiatives designed to improve teaching and learning, and that each one has value. However, when too many are implemented at once, especially during a time of limited staffing, it can feel as though priorities between classroom staff and central administration are misaligned. Everyone shares the same goal, providing the best education possible for our students. But when buildings are left short-handed or short-staffed, while leaders attend trainings or meetings or have to cover classes themselves, it leaves educators feeling unsupported, and that erodes morale. Sometimes doing fewer things really well can yield better results than adding more initiatives before existing ones have had time to take hold. True progress takes time, reflection, and collaboration. As we navigate financial challenges and rising costs, it is important to focus not only on programs, but also on people. We should find ways to retain our talented staff and attract new educators by building a district culture known for working together and solving problems and supporting one another. That's the kind of district people want to be part of. Thank you for listening and your continued partnership in making that vision a reality.
Thank you for your insights, Kate. Appreciate that very much. How about the Northwest Education Support Professionals Representative? Sonia here? No, it's not here. Thank you, Kate. Appreciate that. Next on the agenda is School Board Subcommittee Reports. Director Wynn Elledge is out of town, so goes to you then, Community Outreach Team.
I was unable to attend the last community outreach team, but my understanding is Dr. Bernal was able to attend to provide some insight to that meeting.
Thank you. They talked about, they debriefed their trip to Washington. Every year they take a couple trips to Washington where they do advocacy work on different initiatives. So we got an update on how that went. They gave some really positive feedback about their visit there, and then also and then just gave
Legislative Policy Committee, we are nominating Director Ruscio, and that's in process. That takes a while. Any meeting of the D21 Education Foundation?
Yeah, it was a short meeting, but they're putting a few numbers together to start going.
Okay, great. And any other board member reports about things that are on during this month? Yesterday I went to the ribbon cutting out at Google for their recharge aquifer program that they built for the city and handed it over. Google's intent is to be water positive, so it's part of that initiative, and so it was a unique program. It'd be a very interesting place for field trips for kids to go and see the intensity of the hardware it takes to recharge aquifers. But the idea is that you take water when it's plentiful and you store it in the ground, and then you can pull it out when you need it. And Google uses water to cool the server farms there. So it was a very unique investment, and it was given to the city. So, and that should help us with water resiliency. But I did also meet their PR gal, so that was nice to connect with her. Any other activities this month anybody wants to comment on, other than the multitude of meetings we go to outside of this meeting? And we had a work session, that was good. Anything else? Very exciting. I had a long list, but I won't bore you. Let's go. Okay, new business. Superintendent report.
Thank you. The first item of business is to present my 25-26 superintendent goals. There are three. The first goal is focusing on improving student attendance and reducing chronic absenteeism, something that continues to be a focus for us here in our district and across the state of Oregon. The SMART goal is that by the end of the 25-26 school year, the superintendent will lead the district in implementing a comprehensive The second goal is focused on supporting and strengthening the superintendent collaboration and capacity to understand and use the and the goal for that is by the end of the year, the superintendent and staff will lead this to improve the understanding of growth, attendance, and college career readiness indicators. And the third goal is focusing on strengthening the vision experience. Kids, school is good and engaging, and they know they have time to school, they'll come to school more often. So we are using that truth data. At the end of the 25-26 school year, the superintendent will lead the district in improving one, students report having at least one trusted adult at school. Two, students perceive discipline practices as equitable. Three, students report practices
I think we can. They are aligned, at least the middle one is aligned with our goals. So we appreciate that. I will take a motion to approve Dr. Bernal's superintendent goals for the 2025-26 year.
I move to adopt Dr. Bernal's goals as written.
Do I have a second? All in favor say. Any opposed? Okay, thank you for preparing those. We saw those first at the work sessions. It's good to see. Thank you. Division 22.
Yep. Next, I will be presenting on Division 22 standards assurances. When we present on Division 22, we are actually reporting on the year prior. So this is for the 24-25 school year. Give everyone an overview. What are Division 22 standards? These are the standards for public elementary and secondary schools. They are all the Oregon administrative rules set out in Chapter 581, Division 22. The standards, these are the standards that the Oregon legislature of the state board have determined must be met in order to be a standard school district. And compliance with these rules ensure a baseline level of service across the state. And there's 5 categories. So there's over 50 rules that we have to follow, not 22, there's over 50. And they fall into one of 5 categories: high quality learning experiences, aligned and focused educational systems, engaged partners and communities, safe and inclusive schools, and committed and supported staff. And the next slide just breaks down a little further about what that means in each of those categories. And the requirements, we have to, ODE gives you a rules at a glance summary. This provides a high level summary of what each rule is. And then when you actually go in, you can consult the text of the OER for specific details. ODE does do Division 22 standards newsletters that come out to us that highlight new and revised rules that clarify existing rules and provide it's a combined accountability model, so it's local accountability. Districts have to report to the school board first, and then have to go through the report again. And then the state accountability piece, we have why it articulates the role of education to be provided to students, and the assurances process offers opportunity for what happens if the district ODE will review the district's action plan, and then it will review So for 24-25, there were some waivers in place. So we weren't required to report on essential skills graduation requirements, although we are required to have the local. There's also a waiver currently for essential skills. That's been waived through the 2028 school year. And then there were some revisions that happened during the 24-25 school year. The districts needed to have a plan through 12 instructional programs and a plan to 9-12 instructional programs, which includes finance education and also education. In addition, there was a revision to modify the requirements for the parents, which is parents. And then there was a revision to the substance use prevention. Those were the revisions. So where does the process end? We are in compliance with all Division 22 standards for the 24-25 school year, except for two areas. Area 1 being the substance use prevention and intervention plan. As I stated, this is a new revised rule that was updated last year. There are several districts that will most likely be out of compliance given the timing of the rule revision. In order to come into compliance with this rule, our director of prevention will community partners and staff in order to develop substance use prevention and intervention. Area 2 is career education. We are in compliance with K-5 level, grades 6-12 we are in compliance. So in order to come into compliance with this rule, the director of prevention and intervention will work with the level to develop standalone units that allow us to understand the report, connect their interests to possible teachers, and develop positive attitudes about learning. But I do want to celebrate one thing and point out that actually North Wasco is an exemplar district for how we report Division 22 on the website, including our plans and actions, and we can share it across the state.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, and that's yay to the staff for preparing those. Awesome.
And one more thing, I just want to take this opportunity to introduce our new executive teaching for Allie Ivy. She joined us, I don't know what day are you on the job? And she has just jumped right in. She's been doing a lot of listening sessions. She's been going out and meeting with different, with principals, directors, and then she's scheduling some listening sessions for teachers and classified. And she wants to just hear from everybody and get a lot of digging into the work.
Great,
So,
thank you.
I'm excited
Welcome.
she's here.
Yeah, you come with a strong resume, a lot of skill, and we look forward to having that applied to our district. Thank you. Thanks for the introduction.
So, yes. And then lastly, no safety report tonight. We have some staff that's out ill, so we will bring that back in November.
Thank you very much. Okay, then moving on to Dan Peterson, our CFO, for the Chief Financial Officer's report.
Can I cut in real quick? Is there any additional discussion about just the Division 22? I'm just curious about the waivers specifically. Is that specific just to D21? Is that statewide? And are we tracking compliance with that even though it's a waived requirement? And how are we doing with that?
Yeah, we are tracking it, but ODE also is still deciding what they're going to do. So we don't quite know yet what it's going to look like, but we are tracking it. But it's a requirement. Everyone got waived. It's a statewide waiver.
Was it a COVID-induced waiver?
I don't know what caused the delay in the waiver, but it's statewide. Everyone got the waiver.
Yeah, I've been following a little bit at state level, and I think they're going to be taking a look at it. I doubt it's going to be in this upcoming short session. More than likely it's going to be the next long session. But I think they're looking at graduation requirements as a whole and what that actually looks like. So that's where I think we're kind of in this limbo place because they haven't really taken the time to discuss it during session. So I think that's where it's headed.
And it's also part of the discussions of the accountability bill.
It's in that, the new bill, okay. Thank you for your question, go ahead, do more.
And just some of the other requirements, I feel like I've heard some buzz the last couple of years around like compliance with adoption of instructional materials, physical education minute requirements, so we're all on track with that for 24, 25, and 25, 26.
We are. We actually had to submit plans of action for elementary PE minutes a few years back, and we submitted those plans. Those were approved, and we are back in compliance.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Dan.
Okay, so first some general comments. I left the 24-25 financials out this time. They are not materially different from the ones I presented last month. I don't really expect those to change very much until our audit is finalized. If they do change materially, I will bring them back and I will certainly report on them once our audit is done and the financials for the year are complete. Another kind of general comment, September and October can be really difficult months from a cash flow perspective for school districts. We have to rely on whatever remains of our ending fund balance and state school fund payments to cover all of our expenses. And there tend to be a lot of expenses when school starts up in September. Happily, we made payroll in September and October, and we're in good shape. We will start getting a lot of county tax payments in November. Specific comments on the 25-26 financials. Looking at the balance sheet, there's not a whole lot to comment on. If you look over to the final column, the district totals, you'll see that our assets exceed our liabilities. We have a positive ending fund balance, so we're solvent, and that's good. To me, the most interesting thing in this set of financials, if you look at the expenditure status report and turn to the second page, the line at the bottom says total all funds. And you go over to the encumbrances column, you'll see a number that's just over $38.5 million. And this is something, encumbrances are kind of unique to governmental accounting. I put some information in the written narrative that I'm not going to go into here because I would probably put everybody to sleep. But in governmental accounting, we have encumbrances. So when you have a contract that you're committed to pay, you have to put that on your books. So, we have started the school year, we are committed to pay all of the teachers and staff and so forth. So that's on our books as an encumbrance. And if you have any more questions about that or follow-up questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Yeah, a lot of it's kind of accounting speak, and I'm afraid I might bore you. Basically, everything is on track pretty well at the moment. We're adhering to the budget.
Oh, good. Does anybody have any questions about the expenditure status report, the balance sheet?
On page 1, under local grants, there was a couple where like the percent expended are just pretty large percentages, specifically on support services and then the enterprise and community services. So I would imagine we've got a forthcoming supplemental for that, those line items.
80,000, 75,000.
Yeah, you're looking down at the 230 funds.
Yeah.
230 funds and then 2,000 and 3,000 line item.
Yeah. Yeah, we've currently overspent those. I'm looking into that, and yeah, we will have to move some money from the general fund to cover those.
Can you identify what they were?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. So I guess we'll know at some point, right?
Yeah, I've been looking into it. I'll find out tomorrow or the next day.
Awesome. Of all these funds, of which there are many, it seems like the general fund is the bellwether, would you say is true or not?
Well, it's the biggest one. So from that respect, it's the most important, and it's the one where we have the most choices over how we spend it. The other funds are highly constrained as to how we spend them.
Okay. We're at 16.8% after the first quarter, basically, almost to the end of October, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's better than 25%, right?
Yes.
Yes, for a quarter. Any other observations anybody sees in the expenditure status report? Okay. Do you want to go on to the revenue status report?
Was that a question for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so again, we're pretty much on track. The one number that stands out there is the local grant programs. That's Google money, and it's difficult to know how much is coming or when. I sent an email to the county a couple weeks ago now, and I haven't heard back because I would like to know more about how much is coming and when.
The assessor. Ask the assessor.
Yeah.
How is that different than the enterprise zone funds? They're the fees, right?
Yeah, it's different. Each one was done under a separate agreement, so the ones you're referring to are the SIP monies, and so those are a function of the newer facilities, and I think I don't know that they'll hit this tax season. It might be pushed to 26. Like there's still some question about this.
We've been communicating with the assessor's office, and we have requested a schedule, but we've not been provided one yet.
Okay.
So we have heard potentially December of this year and or potentially December of next year. But we have requested a schedule and amounts so we can know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Timing of payments and also the amounts.
Yeah, December this year is a lot different than December next year. Yes. Yeah, my understanding was this year, and I had heard that in other places. All right, well, keep us posted, and if you need help with getting an answer. Okay. Any other questions about the revenue status report? Like you said, we're expecting county property taxes will come in November, is that right? And we borrowed against our own state money or something, didn't we? When does that?
Yeah, we have a tax anticipation note of approximately $1.8 million that we will pay off once the county funds come in.
All right. And the state funds, do they just trickle in through the year?
Yeah, so we get 2 payments in July. So it's basically a double payment and then a single payment every other month, about mid-month.
Would you like to go on to the attendance report?
Yeah, the attendance report, we are down about 10 students. I don't know if you have that chart. We're down about 10 students from the last report. It's very typical. And I think there was there should be a chart in your packet as well, showing kind of a history of attendance and how it drops. It's pretty predictable. If you look at it over the year, we end up with an average of just over 97% of the students that we start with.
There's a big chunk of a difference between 2017 to 2019, and then there's a giant gap to then the subsequent years. Is that a loss of students during COVID?
That's COVID. A lot of students switched to online learning.
Okay, so this doesn't account for our online virtual students at
No.
all? These
No,
are just
our,
attendance at
yeah, our
schools.
innovations kids, our virtual kids are included in those numbers.
They are,
They are, yes.
but not other students who left the district to go to private, homeschool, or other online. Yeah.
Correct.
So there was a loss there. Okay. Thank you.
There was a loss statewide.
Yeah, sure. We know.
Everyone
We
had
know
the
that.
same exact.
We know that. It's called school choice.
We've
They
been
were like, oh, we
slowly-
have one.
Yeah, and we've been slowly gaining over time.
Okay, getting it back, a few at a time. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Dan about the financial statements or student enrollment? Okay, thank you. At this point in the agenda, we have the OSSA report, and we were hoping that Dr. Morrell could speak to that to the best of her ability. And just give a report too.
Well, Director Kelly, was there something specific you wanted to speak about?
I think, so we've been getting pretty good updates from AD Jim Taylor for the draft proposals that's being put out from OSAA after the meetings. And so I know that Dr. Bernal and Chair Hagee submitted testimony prior to the last meeting, and now we have different proposals out in the universe. So I'm just wondering if it would be beneficial from leadership as a whole to submit a letter of support for the direction that the district wants to go. And after reading the last report, it wasn't clear to me what that direction is. And so if you could help identify which proposal that we're hoping to support, and then if we can jointly send a letter of support. And if we're not going to jointly send a letter, I'm going to send one over the weekend.
Yeah, so at the last meeting, which was October 6th, I submitted written testimony, and I know our AD went down and testified with other ADs. And that did seem to help because the results that came out after that of the new classifications favor us in a much better place. There's still a couple options. It sounds like either we could be in the Tri-Valley, remain in the Tri-Valley League, and or move to classification 5, which would be the Intermountain League. Either way, my understanding, obviously, we would prefer to stay in the Tri-Valley, but being in the Intermountain would not be awful. So what I would propose is I can talk with JT or AD Taylor, and I can draft a letter, and then we could send it out via DocuSign to board members if they all want to jointly sign with me, and we can submit that as written testimony.
And if I may add, so fun fact, 4 years ago, I was actually able to participate and be part of the committee for the classification. So one of the things I remember from serving the last time this was done is that we just need to be consistent, and I feel like our athletic director is doing that. I remember a specific example at the time during that committee, Hood River, the AD at the time, Mr. Kroll, was at every meeting and just kept saying, I want to be in the NWalk, I want to be in the NWalk. And so those of us in the committee heard loud and clear what Hood River wanted. And I think that same approach, if Mr. Taylor, our AD, is just consistent and like, hey, we want the Tri-Valley, we want the Tri-Valley, obviously with some additional additives, but the kind of beating the drum, so to speak, was super helpful, because when I was in those conversations, once we went from public into kind of private session for those conversations, that really resonated, because everyone heard loud and clear what Hood River wanted, and I think that approach definitely helps to hear it directly from the AD. And any supporting, to your point about letters and stuff, that does go a long way, because as committee members will hear. The committee typically is from a variety of athletic directors, superintendents from across the state, but they will listen to that. And yes, there's some parameters even within OSAA related to region and stuff, but I think the more we can just be consistent in our messaging helps. And what you're seeing is just kind of the process that happens. So after every meeting, what they do is they put out plans for folks in districts to react to, and that's where we just need to be very consistent as D21 of like, hey, we want the Tri-Valley, Tri-Valley, Tri-Valley. Oh, Tri-Valley.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So that was a very good example when I served again in Hood River, and I think we can do that. And that seemed to resonate with the folks on that committee, regardless of where they're from.
I agree with that approach.
Thank you.
When is the next meeting?
Monday.
It's coming up Monday.
Oh, okay, so, yeah, so it would be good to have those comments in. I know the process to comment is, there's a name on that page, and you email that person. So, I sent that to you. I could send it to I can't send it to others, you have to find it. But it's very easy to just email that person and write a couple sentences, and with big bold letters, write Tri-Valley. Dallas, Tri-Valley.
Mostly I just wanted the assurance that we're unified, it's still Tri-Valley, and to very clearly convey that message with support from leadership. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
If we were making resolutions, which I don't know how to do, we would do that now.
Would it be helpful if I sent out just some talking points to the board, and then you all could and with the contact person, and then you could individually email them?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay.
And I don't know if CFO Peterson, if you've ran numbers to support this about transportation and also if leadership as a whole has looked at seat time and all of that. Have you put together something like that?
I did give Mr. Taylor some information about transportation costs. That's the extent of what I've been asked for so far.
Okay. Could that be included with the talking points just sent out to the board members? That'd be helpful. Thank you.
And at a minimum, just, right, you support the Tri-Valley choice. Yeah, simple, short, just repeat it. And if I knew how to make a resolution, I would, but I don't. Okay. All right, then moving on to the board attorney. Thank you, by the way, for filling in on that stuff. The board attorney report. Jason, do you have anything to share? Thank you for being here anyway. Okay, then to discussion action items. This has to do with voting for candidates for the 2025 OSBA election for the Gorge region. There are 2 candidates for this position, and we vote on, as a board, we vote on them, I believe. And so that's what we need to do right now, is to choose a candidate. Is that correct? So do we have that in the packet, the names or anything? Okay, so what candidate is shot? I would encourage us, does anybody have any opinions, first of all? I have an opinion. Candidate shot from Condon.
Yeah, for the board position, I think she stood out to me. I think having been former president, or I can't remember the title, chair of the rural caucus, I think is a voice that would be well served on the OSBA board of directors. So that was my recommendation for that position.
Anybody else have any comments on the candidates or ones that they would favor in our board vote? Okay, can I get a motion for a candidate shot, that this board supports candidate shot?
I move to support candidate shot for this position.
And Dave Jones seconds that. All in favor? We've had a discussion. Any more discussion? No. Then I move to the vote. All in favor say? Any opposed? Okay, we are endorsing candidate shot. Thank you. B, action item, present and approve our school board goals, of which is somewhere in your packet.
Chair, the other position is LPC within item 16A.
The board members take official action to elect regional representatives for an even number of positions.
So we discussed the OSBA Board of Directors position for the Gorge Regions. There's also the LPC position as well.
Thank you.
On the ballot.
Did anybody have a candidate they favored for the Legislative Policy Committee?
I would make a motion to support Jose Aparicio.
Oh, that was you.
I will second that.
Wasn't that, I thought that was part of the other thing. Oh, we have a second, Jose. Okay, any discussion? Should we prolong this? All right then. All in favor say aye. Any opposed?
I'm just abstaining.
Yeah, I understand, you should. Yeah, thank you for doing this. We know it takes extra time to do, but we were happy to push you to do it. And we feel like it will serve us better on the OSBA because any kind of local control we can retain will be important. Thank you, Jose. And going to our action items, our school board goals. So we also needed to adopt our own school board goals for ourselves, and they are somewhere in this packet. And they were part of how they came together was our own feelings and convictions, and then also as a part of our work session and retreat with Vince at Oregon School Board Association, who came and facilitated this workshop with us. So we have 6 focus areas. Some of these, I would say, the board self-assessment, the superintendent evaluation process, those are just normal things that we would expect ourselves to do. So I don't see them as big focus areas. But the top one is technical learning, understanding educational metrics to inform strategic decision-making. So we want to start to be aware of our metrics because that's how you can change things. So that's an aligned goal with the superintendent as well. So we look forward to bringing more metrics into our conversations and figure out ways that we can move those metrics in a positive direction. Our board governance roles and responsibilities was a secondary goal, and that was because there's 4 of us are new, and so many of us have done the OSB trainings and continue to do so in understanding what our roles are, how to function, what we can and can't do. And then we have an operating agreement for the board, but at the retreat, we decided we would expand that into three operating agreements, one for the board, which we can already have, one for the superintendent, which is pretty typical, but we don't have, and then a third one would be for our student representatives, which was a very positive suggestion by Director Aparicio, because nobody in Oregon has an operating agreement for student representatives. So guess what? OSB is working on it. So we'll probably be the first to adopt that when we see that. And we're going to have a couple work sessions with Vince to get that in place, hopefully by the end of the year. You know, as well, school and systems engagement, we need to get out into the schools and see what facilities, tour the programs. I know several of us have toured the SLC and other places, and it's some of you have students in schools, and it's easy for you to see, and some of us don't. So, yeah, another item that's not quite represented, but is learning how to budget from the perspective of the classroom first, and so that's something we'll work up to. I think I will take a motion or a discussion. You've heard me. Anybody else want to discuss these?
Just a couple points of discussion, just because for the last couple of months and in work sessions, we've talked about metrics and data, and I'm still learning really what's out there and what's available for us to receive and interpret. And one of the superintendent goals is about absenteeism, so I'm hoping that we can get regular attendance reports and maybe start at the work session with baseline. Like what are we starting at with baseline data to be tracking that? And some other things that I've been thinking about for data that hopefully will be available would include proficiency reports. If something like 8th grade on track or 11th and 12th grade on track reports as far as passing classes, on track to graduate, that kind of information. And last month we heard about the occurrences and incidents relating to the cell phone ban, and while that's not as important, I think maybe just a couple of touch points throughout the year, and also maybe learning about how many exemptions are being requested would be helpful. Anybody else have any data requests?
I agree with the proficiency, you know. How we doing in math? How we doing in 8th grade? On track to graduate. Those are big numbers, important. Anyone else? Favorite data points? Oh,
Yeah, I think that one of the things that could be overwhelming is not having it well organized, because there is good in having the data, but if we can figure out how to organize it in a good dashboard or similar method, that would be very helpful to me personally, and I'm sure others.
yeah. So, and Director Kelly mentioned a baseline. You certainly know where you started and where you're going. Graphing is very helpful for that, clearly. Okay.
Yeah, and some of that might be helpful, not just for this school year, but just for tracking and trending maybe the last 3 years.
Well, 5 years trailing, that would be fun.
Yeah, most of our data when we review it does have trend data, so you're able to see kind of year over year. What I was going to just kind of hear in the conversation, so with our upcoming, I think, December 4th, we likely have some work probably with Vince at that level, but one of the thoughts as I'm just kind of hearing this is, what we do have readily available is all the stuff Dr. Brown we reviewed last spring, where only a few of us were privy and on the board at that time. So I don't know if there's a quick overview, or that's where my mind is going anyways, in terms of just if you were able to send that out to the new board members, and then also if we can do a quick touch point, maybe somehow fold that in, not knowing the agenda for December 4th, but that I think would be beneficial. And then it kind of covers some of the points, right? Some of the data, you can be able to see kind of the trend data and how many years, and then also the organization side of things in terms of just how it's laid out, to start understanding how to read kind of what we're looking at, because there is a lot. And I think what I always come away with when we have those conversations with staff is that we're getting a full 2 hours of information overload almost, and the vast amount of hours that goes into just producing the 2 hours snippet that we see, I think is a testament to our staff that's sitting out there.
Yeah, they have to gather all that.
But I think that would be a good first step before we head into kind of, how are we doing this year? Because then I think that'll kind of help you guys kind of.
Oh, definitely. And it will prepare us for the tests that Dr. Bernal plans to give us. And so I do advocate that we get those reports ahead of time. Okay. Lariah, do you have comments on any of this? Or Raphael? Thank you. Just wanted to check. Okay. Yep.
I move to adopt our board goals as written.
Second from Dave, and we've had our discussion, so all in favor say
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, now we move on to a bunch of readings of school board policies. Some of these I will take some direction here. There are 2, an AC and a JFE. The update is that the federal district court judge in Kentucky issued a decision invalidating the 2024 updates to the Title IX regulations. This ruling invalidates the rules that were in effect on August 2024. So OSBA has since received a communication from the U.S. Department of Education that this means the previous rules issued in 2020 under the Title IX remain in effect now, And OSBA has rolled back some of its recommended edits previously published in November 2020 for the following policies and administrative regulations. And it's apparent that we updated these policies, and so now we need to roll them back. Non-discrimination civil rights is a required rollback, and so is pregnant and parenting students a required rollback. Would anybody like these read openly? I mean, they're in the packet, they're available online. Or do we want to accept these as, yeah. So, does anybody want them read out, or you have them in your packet to review? So they roll back. The second one is, has to do with suspected sexual conduct with students and ethical performance of educators, and these were House Bill 4160 in 2024 changed the definition of student, changing a student who left school or graduated from high school within 90 days to within 1 calendar year, and is in effect as of July 1st, 2024. So the student definitions in those policies listed has been changed. Oh, thank you. Well, I kind of covered them both. AC and JFE, pregnant and parenting students, was also included in the rollback from the U.S. Department of Education. So thank you. So change in student, also informational, both of these first readings. Any questions, thoughts? Then moving on to number 18, informational only again. Update administrative regulations. On January 9th, 2025, another federal district court judge, maybe same one, in Kentucky, issued a decision invalidating the 2024 updates to the Title IX regulations, as is a continuation of what I just read. And so it changes the ACAR, discrimination and complaint procedure. It rolls it back to the 2024 version. Is that correct? So that was informational only. It's in your packet. You can see the rollback. It's required by the U.S. Department of Education. Oh, look at that. We're to public comment. No way. I don't know. Do we? Are they? Where are those on the agenda? Help me figure that out, because we have a bunch of second reading.
Your second reading comes through the consent agenda.
Oh, there you go. They were on the consent agenda. Thank you. We got, so we got those taken care of there. So are we truly at the end of the agenda and ready for 19? Okay, so we have one sign up for items, non-agenda items from the audience. Anthony Pereira, you have signed up. So I'll read you your mini Miranda before that. You need to please share your comments within 3 minutes, and you know not to share any individual minutes.
True.
Thank you.
I'll try my best.
Okay.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board, superintendent, community members. My name is Anthony Pereira, here to address the district's non-compliance with board policies JFCF, harassment, intimidation, bullying, cyberbullying, ACB, all students belong, and AC, non-discrimination. The lack of consistent enforcement and accountability within Northern Wasco County District 21. I became aware of this during an incident September of 2025. Under the policies, they are meant to protect every student from harassment and intimidation that interferes with education. It clearly defines how incidents are to be reported, investigated, and resolved. These policies require that all staff members who witness, receive, or report must immediately report it to appropriate staff and a written record of the investigation maintained. Without consistent reporting, the district loses accountability to identify systemic problems.
This policy outlines dramatic development and implementation of programs that proactively prevent civil rights violations. This means providing regular training for staff and students, conducting annual program reviews to ensure participation and proper allocation, establishing clear communication channels so that everyone understands the rights and how to file complaints, coordinating with staff to ensure consistent enforcement and tracking of complaints or patterns of exclusion. Right now, these proactive prevention efforts are not visible. They are reacting to violations instead of working to prevent them. Our district has strong policies, but weak implementation. I respectfully ask the board to have a disinterested third party hired to conduct an audit of compliance with the board policies since their last revision. I had to adhere to the policies and create and implement a district-wide prevention program and publish an annual report of compliance. Ensure transparent, immediate reporting so we can all know it is handled immediately and with integrity. Our students deserve schools where safety and dignity are guaranteed. Enforcing these policies with integrity is not optional. It's our duty. I want to thank you for your time and for continued service to our students and community. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Can we get a copy of your comments? You have it there.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other business? Meeting is
No. This sounds very serious, so some kind of either work session or executive session fairly quickly, I think would be advantageous.
We will definitely take it up with staff on these recommendations and chat about what is possible and what we can do. There's no promise. We're certainly going to talk about it. I can't say now what that will be, but I appreciate that you have brought it to our attention.
So at this time, we would have to discuss any of this in an executive session? Or am I able to honor the request to have a disinterested third party review the compliance?
I think we need to understand, well, first of all, how are we doing? Do we have these programs and things in place and understand what our baseline is? Where, I think that was what Anthony requested, an audit. So to audit, you have to find out what's going on now. And so I think that's part of it.
By disinterested third party.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
what I said.
Are we able to ask Mr. Corey for guidance on this and what our options are right now?
By right now, you mean in this meeting?
Next steps, immediate next steps, acutely.
Oh, the immediate next steps would be to refer the request by Mr. Pereira to district staff, have them review it, come back with a recommendation to the board of how they want to proceed with regard to that investigation or the auditing request that is made. That would not be something that the board would vote on tonight. There hasn't been any chance to review or discuss that.
I would be interested in doing what you outlined. Can you reiterate?
When a request like this comes to the board directs staff to address the request made and bring a recommendation back to the board. So that's what you're asking me to have.
I think that's a fair request.
We're moving it to staff, and then we'll ask staff, help us understand where we're at in this, and these requests, and then we'll figure out, well, what more can we do, and we'll meet at some point to figure that out.
And is there generally a timeline that we have per policy for the next steps?
Not on this specific request, no. This type of request, I don't know of any policy where there's a timeline that's set for that.
Is there a reasonable timeline that we could expect additional information?
Is there a reasonable timeline to get some feedback from staff on Mr. Pereira's request?
I would need to like see the request, understand the request, and figure out how much time that would take us.
As a board, do we need to move to direct the staff to do this? No?
I don't think so. I think we just refer it and ask for action, you know, because we can, I don't know that we need to have a motion to direct staff to, hey, work on this. Do we? No. So we're going to move it to staff, and then it's really our job as board members to follow up and say, where's that? How's that going? What can we expect? Because the report comes first to us, I would expect, right?
We currently have a work session scheduled for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So whether we need to have an executive session to get follow-up or just add it to the agenda for the work session, I would like that slated.
That's at least an initial expectation on a response after you see this. Can there be just an initial okay, this is my feeling on how I can respond to this. This is a timeline that we can all expect.
I just want to clarify, so, I think your mind is going straight to policy KL in terms of our formalized process. And that's where, and I think the other thing to keep in mind is that executive session is only allowed for the specific items. I think at this time, hearing Mr. Pereira's comments tonight, I don't know that it necessarily would fit under any of those. So I think
That's fine. Then it
next
could just
step,
be a general
executive
work
session. I think at this point, the recommendation in terms of letting staff kind of address it and work with Mr. Pereira on the comments made tonight. And then, because the other thing we want to keep in mind is that, again, if there's further things to discuss, we don't want to prevent the ability for our complaint process to still exist outside of that. So it's not entered into that arena yet, and so we don't want to kind of overstep that in my mind, if that makes sense.
That's reasonable.
Okay. Does that sound reasonable to you, Anthony?
Yeah, I have an expectation of a response. Obviously, I can't address everything here under the rules that it is, for since it's a school board meeting. But as always, since I became aware of what happened, it's a multi-level problem, so I'm open to discuss it with the appropriate people at the right time.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, because that's the way I've always been.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Okay, now shall I adjourn the meeting? Is anybody opposed to that? Okay. Oh, nobody wants to